What is up YouTube? Welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to be doing a 10 tips guide for new survivors in Home Sweet Home Survive. Now this list is in no particular order and it is based on my playing experience in the last week or so, albeit these are solo queue games, but even if you went in as a team I can't see how it wouldn't help you. But without further ado guys, if you're ready, I'm ready, let's do this. Tip number 1 guys, do the tutorial. Now I know it sounds quite obvious and a lot of people will end up skipping this, but I would 100% suggest doing the tutorial. It takes roughly 5 minutes depending on what you're doing in there, but it gives you a feel for like the movement and the controls and stuff, which is arguably the most important thing in this game. Plus it tells you a little bit about each item. Doesn't go into too much depth and you'll learn more as you play, but it does tell you a little bit about each item. And not only that, you can go into the settings and change your look sensitivity and your hotkeys to whatever you want. So have a little play around, see what you prefer. Plus you can change your graphics to whatever your computer can handle better. But yeah, 100% suggest doing the tutorial. It takes 5 minutes, just do it. It doesn't make any sense not to. Tip number 2, play all the survivors. Now you will have a play style in mind that you want to play, but I would suggest playing all the survivors just to find out their strengths and weaknesses and their abilities. If you go into a game and you're playing with a character that you've never played before, you're not going to know their strengths and weaknesses and you're not going to know how they're going to help you in the match. So I would suggest playing all the survivors, find out their strengths and weaknesses to better help you in the game. Plus certain characters will be better at certain jobs, so do you want to be a decoy runner or do you want to be an objective runner? Each character will have their own strengths, but you want to play all of them so you can find out which strengths are better and which ones are going to benefit you more in the actual game. Tip number 3. Open every chest you see, whether it's red or brown. There's no reason not to. They literally take about 5 seconds to open unless you get unlucky with the RNG on the ritual chests. But there's no reason not to open them. Not only will it help you and your teammates there and then, depending on the item that you've got, I guarantee you it will help you and your teammates later on in the game. The amount of times I've been chased by a Specter and an item that I previously got from a chest earlier has helped me from getting hit or killed is unreal. I've been saved so many times by this tip, so just open every chest. There's no reason not to. If you're going from one objective to another, just open it. It takes 5 seconds. Now obviously if you're being chased by the Specter, obviously don't open it at that point, but I'm assuming you will already know that. But there's no reason not to open them, so just open it for you and your teammates. Speaking about items, tip number 4, do not hoard the items. When you open a chest and get the item, place it on the ground somewhere easily accessible by you and your teammates. So preferably somewhere in the hallways or somewhere in the middle of the map. If you are holding an item while doing a ritual, that item is literally useless. It's not doing anything to help your team at that point in time. So drop it on the floor. Plus, the other reason to drop it on the floor is, like I said, if your teammate is in a chase with the Specter, that item that you're holding in your hand could potentially save their life, stop them from getting hit, or prolong the chase, which then allows you to do the ritual for longer. So just drop the item. I know it's scary not having an item in your hand to defend yourself with, but you will get hit in this game. You will get killed by the killer. But I guarantee the reason you died was not because you didn't have an item in your hand. Tip number 5. Don't be afraid to talk to your teammates. At the end of the day, they are your teammates. So if you have a question or if you want to find out what the plan is for the game, all you have to do is hit enter on your keyboard and just start typing away. Now, obviously, don't type an essay because no one's got time to read it and reply to it while they're being chased by the Specter. But if you've got something short and simple to ask, by all means ask it. From what I've seen, the community is pretty friendly, so they will try and help you out. And at the end of the day, it is going to benefit them by helping you. But obviously, this is the internet. You will get dickheads. You will get arseholes. It's just the nature of the internet, unfortunately. But like I said guys, don't be afraid to talk. Arguably the most important tip on the list, tip number 6, use the ping system. It's so simple, yet I never see anyone use it. The ping system will literally ping anything that you can interact with. So that could be the killer, that could be a ritual, that could be a chest, that could be an item. It literally could be anything. Not only does it tell you what the ping is, it also tells you the distance from where you are position wise. So for example, let's say you need a health potion and someone pings a health potion that's 50 meters away from you. You know that you're probably not going to make it there before the killer gets to you. But on the flip side, let's say you're doing a ritual and someone pings the killer and it says it's 10 meters away from you. You know that you need to get the hell away from wherever you are right now because the Specter's probably coming for you. So like I said, it's so simple to do. You press F F on the keyboard to ping the killer, and you press spacebar to ping everything else. So whether that's a ritual, chest, or item. So it doesn't take your hand off the keyboard, and I 100% believe that if more survivors used this system, you would win more games. Tip number 7, don't sprint forever. Stamina is your best friend in this game, so if you abuse it, it will get you killed. The amount of times I see people sprinting around for no reason, and then they come across the Specter and they can't get away and end up dying is unreal. I see it literally every game. There's no reason to be sprinting around unless the Specter's chasing you, and even then sometimes you can get away with not sprinting, but that's for a more advanced guide. For now, what I would suggest is when the Specter's not chasing you, I would suggest not sprinting. If the Specter's chasing you, just sprint. Just try your best to manage the stamina bar as much as you can do. Like I said, the stamina is literally your best friend in this game, and it will save your life. Also, when you hit the sprint button, it will take a chunk of your stamina off each time, so try your best not to hit the sprint button loads of times. Tip number 8 is quite a basic one, but never go into the lower part of the swamp. It is literally suicide for survivors. The reason being is that survivors run at about 25% speed, whereas the Specters stay full speed. So there's no way for you to get away from the Specters. Not only that, if you do get killed down there, it's highly unlikely that other survivors are going to be able to get your soul back, or they might not even bother because they know it's suicide down there. Even if you're being chased by the Specter on the top level, I would suggest try not to go down to the lower level, even if it means you're one hit away, because at least if you die on the top level, other teammates can get your soul and resurrect you, whereas if you die in the swamp level, it's going to be so difficult for them to get you back. So try your best not to go down there, avoid it at pretty much all costs. Tip number 9, 99 the rituals. Now this one's a little bit more of an advanced tip, and some people might disagree with me, but the way that I see it is I don't see any negative to 99 in the rituals. Now what do I mean by 99 in the rituals? So when you have the rituals, you have an incense stage, you have a needle and praying stage, and then you have completed stage. When you're on the praying stage and you have the bar at the bottom, rather than complete the bar, get it to about 95 to 99% and then leave it and move on to the other ritual. The reason for this is that if you have 3 rituals that are in praying state form, the Spectre obviously is spread over those 3. If you then complete one of them, the Spectre only needs to worry about 2 of them now. And if those 2 are on one side of the map, the Spectre can literally just lock down that side of the map, and you're going to find it very difficult to try and complete those rituals. Now the Spectre has no idea how much percentage is done on each ritual, so there's no reason not to 99 them. The only positive you get out of completing a ritual is you do more damage to the Spectre, but in my opinion you're not going to be able to exorcise the Spectre until the 3rd ritual anyway, because that's when it takes 100% damage, the most damage. Before then I think you'll find it very difficult to exorcise the Spectre, so I realistically don't see any downside to 99 in the rituals. But this is where the chat box comes in. It's always worth asking your team what they want to do, but like I said, if you complete a ritual, the Spectre then knows they don't have to worry about that ritual anymore, and they can focus on the other 2 or the other 1. Tip number 10, play the Spectre. Now I know I said this is a survivor guide, but the way that I see it, what better way to know your enemy than to be your enemy? Now the reason I say that is that if you're playing the Spectre, you can find out their strengths and weaknesses in game, so then you can better prepare yourself when you come up against them as a survivor yourself. You can find out their abilities and how they work. Certain abilities will work better under certain situations, and you can find out what those situations are, and then you can flip them and use them against the Spectre. Also, you can find out the playstyles of each Spectre, and that way you can better understand how to play against them in game. I 100% believe that playing the Spectre is only going to benefit you as a survivor. So play the Spectre, get a feel for them, and then apply what you found out to your survivor gameplay, and I guarantee you will win more games. Finally, a bonus tip, because everyone loves a bonus tip. If you are finding that you have high ping, the reason might be because if you go into settings and then go onto system, you will find that your location is set to Asia. By default, it's set to Asia. So if you want, go in there and change it to whatever applies to you. So you have Asia, EU, or the US. Obviously choose which one applies to you, and you will find that your ping will be a hell of a lot lower, and you might actually be able to do more in game with a lower ping than you did before. They will most likely change this at some point, but for now it's set to Asia, so make sure you go into system on your settings menu and change it to whatever one applies to you. And that's it, 10 tips for new survivors. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and it does help your gameplay out. If you have any questions or anything to add, please leave it in the comments below. If you did enjoy the video, please smash that like button, it helps the channel out loads. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you in one of the lobbies. Stay safe out there, and I'll catch you in the next one.